everyone, welcome to another day of the Tumblr 30-day video challenge. This is day 25. Give your opinion on 3 topics of your choice. So it's a bit broad to say topics, so I've chosen 3 things that I think are, I wouldn't even say mildly interesting, just 3 things that I think about and 3 things that are kind of either annoying. I'd say mostly annoying. People say, pick a topic, and you say, well, something. I think you have more to say about something that you find annoying than something you like. Just, yeah, because you're comfortable with the things you like, but you're annoyed with the things that really, rile you up. So, first of all, is global politics. Now, when I say global politics, I mean because I don't pretend to understand the intricacies of global politics and foreign affairs, and I have a very loose understanding. I can have a conversation about it, but I couldn't write an essay on it at all. So as an outsider, as a plebeian, I would say my opinion on global politics, whenever anybody asks me about it, my opinion always comes down to comparing how our political system in the UK seems to compares to politics around the world, and I would say that our politicians are a bunch of limp-wristed wankers. I mean, you look around the world, and especially with everything that's going on at the minute with the GOP, which I actually don't know what it stands for, in the States, you've got all of the Republicans, really having a freaking wobbly about this one is this and this one is that and this one hates this one, da 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 da. In the UK, there isn't a politician out there that won't say something slightly stupid and then will spend the rest of their career apologising for it. I think my opinion of UK politicians is that they're all so terrified to really have a solid opinion on something, and they just spend all of their career apologising for the fact that they might feel too strongly about something. Whereas, I mean, you look at politicians in the States, and they are really freaking hardline about what they think. They hate men, they hate women, they hate gay men or gay women, they hate children, and they hate the military, and they hate the hippies and the liberals, and it's they're really they're really strong in their opinions, and true, it can rile up one section of the populace or another, depending on which way they lean. But American politicians, for however stupid they may come across, at least are brave enough to have a solid opinion on something, and they don't back down from it. Unless they are in support of child molesters. And then you look at Europe. I mean, you look at Europe. They're very serious, and they take their job very seriously. And I mean, you sometimes will see European politicians, whether it be in France or Germany, out as far as Spain and the Middle East. They get into fights in the middle of their parliamentary meetings. They will throw punches. The closest we ever got was John Prescott. When he got hit in the face with an egg, he actually lashed out and punched the guy. But it just seems that around the world, especially I'd say as kind of north of the equator, especially in the first and second world countries, I think there's the systems of government in place are so passionate about what they do, whereas here they seem, like I say, they just really seem to. It's like they're apologising for the fact they went into politics, which, I mean, who wants to be a politician? But yeah, they're just so limp-wristed. They're just so limp-wristed. They can't commit themselves to any of their decisions, and that just really frustrates me. So that's number 1. Number 2, obsession with weather. Now I feel in a way that we as Englishmen and women are justified in our obsession with the weather. We're an island, we're a small island, and we're really subject to other people's weather. When it's hot, it's because it's hot in France. When it's cold, it's because it's cold in Scotland and Norway and other countries. When we have adverse winds, it's because somewhere like kind of coming across the Atlantic from the States has hurricanes. We get a little bit of wind and ooh. We haven't had a hurricane since, I would say, I think it was '88. We haven't had a hurricane since '88. And even then, it blew over a couple of trees. It wasn't like Katrina or anything. I think as well our obsession with the weather comes from the fact that nothing in this country works when the weather dares to really manifest itself. Especially as any Londoner will tell you, the tube. The tube, the London Underground, stops working when it's too hot, when it's too wet, when it's too windy, when it's snowing, even if it's snowing a little bit or it's snowing a lot, a little bit, and it's like, oh my god, London Underground has stopped. I was on a train coming out of one of the main terminals in London, and we had stopped somewhere. It looked like we'd stopped in the middle of a hedgerow, and it was literally because the driver said that there are the wrong kind of leaves on the track. The wrong kind of leaves. Like there are the kind of leaves you could drive by. How big was this leaf? Was it the size of a house? Did a friggin' leaf from like the Sylvanian family land on the track and the tree, the train couldn't pass it? It was ridiculous. The idea of it. We've had those as excuses, especially trains in the underground. The wrong kind of rain, the wrong kind of snow, the wrong kind of leaves. It's been too windy. We're battered by the rain, and especially the fact that we built our city around a massive river. It started out as a settlement on the river and has expanded out. And we think, okay, well, you have a river running through. You build the sewers around it. You should be fine with these kind of things. No, we're really not. If it's too hot, nothing works. If it's too cold, nothing works. If it rains, nothing works. If it snows, nothing works. If it's windy, nothing works. In those few fabulous days that nothing is going on like that, everybody just kind of moans like something's about to happen. I think more than anything, more than the fact that we do have these extreme weather systems, which aren't really that extreme, we want to be proved right. We just, as Londoners, as being, there's being British, which has that kind of that mindset of we were once the forerunners of invading other countries and claiming them as our own, and then you say, well, we're English. You go from British to English, and then we say English. Well, okay, we're English, and every neighbouring country hates us. The Scottish because we ruled them, and the Irish because we ruled them, and the Welsh because we didn't want to rule them. And then you say Londoner, and as a Londoner, you wanted to be disappointed. You crave disappointment, and we don't, like I say, it's not. You can't even claim it's an extreme weather system. It's really not. It's just the fact that we have weather, and nothing that we've built is prepared for anything that can attack us. So, heaven forbid, I mean, it's like nobody complained during the Blitz. Everybody just got on with it. Blitz, war finishes, and then we have, some adverse rain. We have rain that comes in at a great, an angle greater than 45 degrees, and everybody's just like, it's the end of the world. So, ran over. And finally, I say ran over, and I just looked at my final topic. Number 3 is I've picked 3, and that's it. My third topic, George Lucas. George Lucas. George Lucas. I'm actually not going to talk that long about George Lucas because it does rile me up. George Lucas is a cunt. Created one of the greatest sci-fi trilogies, one of the greatest sci-fi franchises ever. I can't. I'm trying to be articulate about it, but he just really makes me angry. I'm going to boil it down to the fact that he's a whore. He is a whore who has cannibalized his own baby, his own piece of artistic worth for money. Constantly, you create 3 films and they revolutionize cinema, and you then go back, and especially I'm not a fan of prequels. I hate prequels. Prequels are the devil's spawn, because no matter what you do with a prequel, all you're doing is harkening back to the franchise that you created, that gained you this notoriety in the first place. So all you're really doing is cannibalizing the thing that originally brought you your success, and it never works. Prequels never work. It's just one of those things. It was bad enough to see the prequel films, but then to really grow up and to grow up in a society where, in a culture where his product was just completely whored out to everything and anyone, anybody that had a product that they wanted to stick their name on. You know, I think you get to a point where any shop you walk into, doesn't matter what shop it is, you will find something that has a little bit of George Lucas attached to it, and it really infuriates me just because I love the franchise. I love the original trilogy. I hate the prequels. I really do. I understand their place in it, but I hate the prequels because they weren't within, what's the word I'm looking for? They compromised his integrity. It was more like he did them because he'd referenced them in the original films, rather than they didn't need to be those films, but he did them because they were referenced, and it was money. It was money. Everything with George Lucas comes down to money. I think the thing that's really riled me up to want to talk about this is recently seeing an advert for a mobile phone network which features Yoda, a guy sitting in a bar trying to change over his mobile numbers from one phone to the other, and Yoda tries to help him do it. The fact that a second string mobile phone company now has rights to use the likeness of a Star Wars character. I mean, months ago there was an electronics store, a large electronics chain, who used the likeness of Darth Vader and a scene from Return of the Jedi, and that was frustrating. That was really frustrating, just to see how low it could go. You know, when you see Star Wars for me is like when you see a really famous star who had a really brilliant career, and then you see them years later and they're advertising like motor oil, or they're selling tampons or something. That's what it feels like for me. It feels like it's a franchise that is amazing and has this great history behind it, but now they're selling you car insurance. You know, you run into like a professional wrestler who's now selling used cars. That's what it feels like for me. And George Lucas, as I say, is a complete cunt because he is in charge of everything, and he holds things so dearly. He holds on to everything. Everything is mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. And then, of course, recently he lost a case with the guy who designed the helmets for the stormtroopers, and claimed that they were his intellectual property and he was allowed to sell them. Lucas said no. The guy won. Lucas must have been pissed. So now he's whoring it out to everybody. I'm gonna stop there because I could and I have at length divulged my hatred for the Lucas. So I'm gonna stop there. This was good. Got it out there. Give you a little bit of an insight into the things, especially the things I hate. I think the things that people hate are more interesting than the things they like. So you know a little bit more about what I hate. Tomorrow will probably be some more hate. Who knows? Yeah, tomorrow's day 24. Look forward to it. Only about 6 more to go. What am I going to do then? Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later.